Angkor Wat, a stone representation of the universe. Located near Siem Reap, Cambodia, Angkor Wat is one of the world's largest and most significant religious monuments. It was constructed in the first half of the 12th century over a period of approximately 30 years by King Suryavarman II of the Khmer Empire. Originally built as a Hindu temple dedicated to the god Vishnu, it was converted into a Buddhist temple around the 16th century and remains an active place of worship to this day. Because of its origins, the design of Angkor Wat is modeled after Hindu cosmology. More than just an ancient building, it is a magnificent work of art that expresses the ancient vision of the universe through stone. In the Khmer language, Angkor means capital city and Wat means temple. Due to its immense cultural and historical value, it was designated as a UNESCO World Cultural Heritage Site in 1992. The architecture is rich with symbolism. The 5 towers. These represent Mount Meru, the sacred mountain believed to be at the center of the universe. The surrounding moat. This represents the infinite ocean that encircles the world. Westward orientation. While most temples face east, Angkor Wat uniquely faces west. As the west is the direction associated with death and the god Vishnu, it is believed the temple was also intended to serve as a funerary monument for the king. 3 must-see highlights. The first gallery of Angkor Wat, the outermost gallery, is covered with intricate reliefs along its walls for approximately 800 meters and is known as one of the longest reliefs in the world. These sculptures are not merely decorative. They tell grand stories from Hindu epics and myths and demonstrate the authority of the kings of that time. These sculptures depict the churning of the ocean of milk, the most famous and artistic relief at Angkor Wat. It portrays the creation myth, where gods and Asuras demons tug of war over a giant serpent Vasuki to churn the ocean in order to obtain Amrita, the elixir of immortality. The heaven and hell section depicts heaven in the upper section, the mortal world in the middle section, and hell in the lower section. The hell scene realistically portrays various tortures inflicted according to sins committed in life, offering a glimpse into the moral values of the time. The army of Suryavarman. This section depicts Suryavarman himself, the founder of the temple. The meticulous carvings of the king, riding an elephant, and the marching columns of soldiers make it a valuable historical document for understanding ceremonial tools. Ramayana. One of the 2 great epics of Hinduism, this depicts the climactic scene where Prince Rama, who leads an army of monkeys, fights to rescue his wife Sita, who has been kidnapped by the demon king Ravana. The heaven and hell section depicts heaven in the upper section, the mortal world in the middle section, and hell in the lower section. The hell scene realistically portrays various tortures inflicted according to sins committed in life, offering a glimpse into the moral values of the time. The narratives in the sculptures are generally arranged to progress counterclockwise leftward. This is said to be because Angkor Wat has the nature of a temple mortuary for the dead. It is said that there are more than 1,700, or even close to 2,000, depending on how you count them, Devatas carved throughout Angkor Wat. Despite this enormous number, the dedication and skill of the Khmer artisans of that time are truly astonishing, as no 2 are alike. Differences can be seen in the intricate hairstyles and hair ornaments, facial expressions and subtle gestures, and ornaments. Furthermore, the statues of goddesses standing still are called Devatas, who protect temples and adorn sacred spaces. The statues of celestial maidens, water spirits, flying through the air or gracefully dancing are called apsaras, and are said to have originated from the myth of the churning of the ocean of milk. The cross corridor of 1,000 Buddhas. This is a cross-shaped corridor connecting the first and second corridors. It is called the Corridor of 1,000 Buddhas because it once housed numerous Buddha statues donated by pilgrims from all over the world. Several Buddha statues still remain today, allowing visitors to strongly feel the history of faith, which transitioned from Hinduism to Buddhism. Many of the Buddha statues lining the corridor are missing their heads or arms. This is not only due to deterioration over many years, but also reflects Cambodia's tragic modern history, including destruction during the extreme religious persecution under the Pol Pot regime Khmer Rouge in the 1970s, and being targeted by art thieves who cut off only the heads and smuggled them overseas during the subsequent period of turmoil. The remaining Buddhist statues vary in style depending on the era they were made and the place of origin of the donor, depicting figures seated in meditation, standing, or carrying a seven-headed serpent naga on their backs. In the courtyard of the second corridor, there is a building called the Sutra Repository, which is thought to have been a place where sacred texts were stored or where preparations for rituals were made. The walls are lined with beautifully crafted Renchi Meido windows, which are carved from stone and resemble the beads of an abacus. The third gallery backen and the central sanctuary are the heart and most sacred spaces of Angkor Wat. This area is located at the very top of the ruins and symbolizes the summit of Mount Sumeru, the mountain where gods are believed to reside in the ancient world view. The third corridor features the tallest central sanctuary in the center, surrounded by 4 towers at its 4 corners, creating a structure known as the Five Towers Courtyard. This is a magnificent design that expresses the Hindu worldview itself in stone. Angkor Wat is the ultimate sanctuary, embodying the religious significance of everything leading to this point. It stands approximately 65 meters above ground level. Its overwhelming height, overlooking the surrounding jungle, visually represents the king's power and his closeness to the divine. It is believed that when it was built in the 12th century, it housed a statue of the Hindu god Vishnu. After being converted into a Buddhist temple, the interior was renovated, and it now houses 4 Buddha statues standing and seated facing the 4 cardinal directions. Even today, it remains an extremely important center of faith for the Cambodian people. Incense is always offered inside, and devout locals and monks can be seen offering prayers. The sunrise at Angkor Wat is magnificent. It's a meticulously calculated astronomical design. And for a few days around the spring and autumn equinoxes, the sun rises directly above the central sanctuary. Also, because it faces west, the evening view is wonderful. Wild monkeys also inhabit Angkor Wat.
It's my brother. Also, you can do with him.
It takes about 20 minutes by tuk-tuk from the center of Siem Reap to Angkor Wat. You should definitely visit the mystical and magnificent Angkor Wat. Thank you for watching until the end.